The first part of the session led Rita to a memory where she was extremely upset about certain aspects of her relationship with her mother and her grandmother, and she had just gone upstairs to her bedroom where she lay on her bed, screaming and crying uncontrollably. As we tried to work with this memory, it seemed that there were child parts that would not let Rita connect with the painful emotions, and also that did not want to turn to Jesus for help. My assessment was that in her true heart, Rita did want to be with Jesus, and she would let him help her, but that something was causing these child parts to block this. And my expectation was that an Immanuel intervention would enable these child parts to perceive Jesus' presence, and once they met him, they would allow him to come close and would welcome his assistance. So I therefore transitioned to the portion of the session presented here. Well, here's what I want to do: an experiment. What if the parts that we're working with? What if you guys? How do I say this? What if we just try letting Jesus just be there with you? No agenda. He's not making you go to painful emotions. He's not fixing you. What if you just let him be with you?
They're afraid he might hurt them again. He might hurt them like they were hurt by the caregivers that hurt them, but grandma and mom.
What if we asked him if he'd stand on the other side of the room facing the wall? That's you don't have to even see his face. It's kind of safe. You can just sort of look at him and evaluate him for a while. And my proposal is, you ask him whether he would be willing to cooperate with your requests. Would you come and not talk and face the wall and not do anything without my permission?
No, I don't want him to face the wall.
Oh,
that's rude.
Okay. What about sideways? So you don't see his face directly, but you can kind of get a little idea of what he's thinking and feeling by watching the side of his face? And it's not quite as scary if you don't see his eyes?
Well, that probably would be okay, as long as he's not offended if I ask that.
He's saying, my sweet, sweet girl, he's just doing what my mother and grandmother should have done. They didn't. He's not even talking about the specific incidents, kind of not important. Just being there and loving me, which is all I wanted. And understanding.
I don't have to be mean to keep hurt away.
I can be vulnerable. Because it'll be in his strength, not my own.
I remember that originally I was laying on the bed, tantruming and screaming and that. Now I'm kind of quiet there. And I remember when I did finally quiet down in the original memory, it was just exhausting, and I just felt like I was losing, and everything was taken out of me and from me. But now it's like I'm quiet, and he's there filling me.
It's like he's trying to get me to look in his eyes or in his face, and I can't do it.
Because if I looked at her, I'd get slapped harder. It's as if, there I was looking, and then wham. Or if I kept my head down, it wouldn't be so bad. So I would practice keeping my head down, flinching kind of.
Oh, I can feel him kind of lifting my chin up. I'm like holding my face, saying kind of,
not these words, but the idea that that's how my mother's hands should have been used. Like that, not the way they were.
How does it feel to try looking in his eyes again?
Oh, yeah, we're there. I'm sensing some agitation from the two parts. The longer I stay there with Jesus, the more useless they feel.
actually, the two parts there, can you guys ask Jesus directly? I mean, he's there in the room, right?
Mm-hmm.
Can you guys ask him?
Yeah, what about us?
Yeah.
Yeah, what about us? It's like he held out his arms to them. Turns out they're like child parts. They seemed like they were older. Child parts.
But they were actually smaller than they presented.
Yeah, they were smaller. And this is ridiculous. He's putting hats on, like to go outside, like little knit hats. And kind of like, we were going to give you a new hat, put a new hat on you. You're going to have a new job. You'll have a different hat than the one you've been wearing.
How does that feel?
They're happy.
They're happy.
They're happy. They don't have to try and be bigger than they are or older than they are.
Isn't that nice?
They can be young, which is, I guess, when they first came.
Well, that would all make sense.
And they can be part of joy and happy and playing, which I guess they didn't have enough of. It was too serious.
They were too busy having to be bigger than they really were.
Yeah.
Oh, that's sad.
Anyway, they're happy.
They're okay?
They're fine.
The truth of what the Lord is going to do for me, or what he did for me then, has played out in my life. I'm much less triggered. The Holy Spirit is able to suggest things to me in different situations, and I'm actually able to follow those.
That's good.
Those suggestions.
The Lord speaks, you actually hear, and you're able to follow.
Well, and sometimes in the past I would be, I can't hear you, I don't want to hear you, but
So your
He has
sense is, because
been-
what it looked like in that session, is that there were places in your heart
yeah.
that were afraid to let Jesus come close and to listen to him. And that what it looked like is we were able to work on some places in your own mind or heart, however you want to do that were kind of blocking, and that seemed that something moved. So actually it's interesting that since then, your perception is that you're less afraid to let Jesus come close and speak to you, and you're more able to hear him. Is that accurate?
That, and I can respond to the people in my life with love, and I don't have to keep them.
That thing he said about you don't have to be mean to protect yourself.
Don't have to be, right, exactly.
And that seems to be working.
That is working really well. He's suggesting, well, why don't you just be loving here?
If I hear you right, now when you go back to that memory, it's peaceful and calm.
Yes.
Is that correct?
There's nothing there. It's just
Nothing painful.
nothing painful at all. In fact, nothing at all. It's just like
Well,
thinking
nothing-
about eating breakfast.
But you see the memory.
Oh, I see the
And you
memory,
can think about the
yes.
hurt and your mom and grandma not being there for you, and
Right.
remember sobbing and
Yes.
wailing and crying on the bed and feeling
I remember
rejected.
that.
And but there's no pain.
None.
That's cool.